Hello, and welcome to the sleep lesson. So, I'm going to teach you today about what the sleep lesson or the sleep section of your 90-day transformation program really means. And there are several things we're going to work or learn today. We're going to learn better pre and post sleep routines, how to create the perfect sleep environment, how long you really need to sleep for, how to increase the time spent sleeping, what do you do if you suffer from poor sleep, and how we're going to track your sleep. So let me share something else. New share, PowerPoint, share. Okay. Play. So, how long should we really sleep for? Well, the 8 hours has been thrown around for a long time now as the thing we need to do. We need to be sleeping the 8 hours. Well, there's not much truth behind that. There's certainly not much truth that we all need to have the same amount of sleep. Some of us, as we're probably aware, can function on much less than 8 hours a day. And some of us can need a lot more, need a few hours more. So you should have a fair idea of whether you require a lot of sleep or not by now to function. Now, rather than consider the amount of hours in this system we've got, rather than consider the amount of hours per day that you're going to look at your sleep, like we're going to start to look at sleep cycles. So how much sleep? So sleep cycles are about 90 minutes long. Okay, so when you go from awake through the various periods of sleep, rapid eye movement, light sleep, dark sleep, and then come back round again. So you will come back round. You go through these cycles. So we're going to start thinking in sleep cycles, so blocks of 90 minutes. And typically, I think a good place to start with is aiming for 35 sleep cycles a week. So that's 5 sleep cycles a day. Okay, so for instance, if I was to go to bed at 10 o'clock, I could wake up at 5:30, and that would be my 5 sleep cycles. So start with now to get your body into a good rhythm, a good circadian rhythm, whereby it's ready to start a day and ready to go to sleep, therefore enjoying better sleep and therefore being more alert and awake and productive during the day. We need to try and be quite consistent with our timings. Now, that's certainly the most important thing. Be consistent with when you wake up every day. So I know this is quite difficult to sort of swallow, because everyone likes a lie now and again. But set your alarm to wake up when is the day or the period of the day or the period of the week when you've got to wake up earliest. When was that? So set that time as your gospel time, okay? And set your alarm to wake up at that time every time. Little alarm, doesn't have to be much. You don't want to certainly wake your partner up and things, okay? Not if it's early anyway. So make sure, and then work backwards. So if you know that your wake up time needs to be 5:30 and you need 5 sleep cycles, then 10 o'clock is your asleep time. Certainly before that, for a pre-bed routine, you need to be winding down. By 9 o'clock, you need to start winding stuff down. So start at your wake-up time, set yourself a wake-up time, and then work backwards from there. Now, in your workbook, you're going to track on your weekly battle plan, you're going to track the number of cycles that you plan to have per day. So if you know you're going out and it's going to be a late night, well, say for instance, you need working back from 5:30, 2 sleep cycles would be 4, would be 2:30, right? So 3 sleep cycles would be 1 o'clock. So say you get in at 12 midnight. Well, ideally, you can say, right, I'm going to have, rather than go to bed straight away, I'm going to have 3 round sleep circles, 3 sleep cycles. So I'm going to have 3 sleep cycles in that period, and I'll have a wind down time in front of that. And you track the number of sleep cycles in your diary. So plan ahead. So if you know you've got a night out, you can put down 3 for that day. I'm going to have 3 sleep cycles. I'm going to go to bed at 1 p.m, wind down when I get in. If you know that you've got a nice quiet day, you can say, right, I'm definitely going to wind down at 9. I'm going to go to bed at 10. Therefore, I get my 5 sleep cycles. Start adding them up over the week and see how you perform. As I said earlier, we don't all need 35 sleep cycles a week. We might need a few less. So see how you perform. If you feel you need more, do something about it for sure. So as I mentioned, focusing on the week rather than individual days. So if you know you've got a late night one night and you only get 2 or 3 sleep cycles in, make sure the other days are pretty good. So you're not having 3 days of very little sleep. Make sure you've got a good period of good sleeps followed by a couple of not so good sleeps. Okay, so ideally, need to be winding down 90 minutes before bed. Reducing blue light exposure and screen time at least 30 minutes before bed. So this whole sort of watching TV right up to the moment you go to bed, no, cut that out now. If you want better sleep, cut it out. Lighting in the house. Don't turn on loads of bright lights. Ideally stick to dim down the light, stick to the least amount of light, especially in the last 30 minutes of the day. So lighting in the house is very important. Also, be busy before bed. It helps tire you out. So do some jobs. So rather sat in front of the TV, make that last half an hour, you're decluttering. So do some chores in the house that need doing. Be active, be a little more active, tire yourself out a little bit, rather than getting stimulated in front of a TV. And another thing, so if you're someone who thinks, has got thoughts going around their mind as they're trying to get off to sleep, or you've got a stressful day ahead and you're thinking of things, or you wake up with thoughts, download your day. So the last thing, or one of the last things you do before you go to your bedroom, is download what you've got. Just brain dump. Plain piece of paper, get a plain piece of paper and just brain dump anything, thoughts. Spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes max for writing down any thoughts that come into your mind. Just jot them down. That's all you need to do. Don't need to act on them, just jot them down. Trust me, it really helps just to declutter the mind before you go to bed. In the morning, you can pick the list up, see if it makes any sense at all, and you can act on it if you need to. So when you're waking up in the morning, also start easy. So don't text drunk. Don't wake up first thing and decide to send some messages or emails. You're just not ready for the day. The emails are probably not going to be measured and thought out, or the text messages. So don't pick up your phone straight away. Don't pick up your phone straight away. Hydrate and refuel first. So get up, have a big glass of water. Water's always an issue, right? Getting enough water or drinking enough during the day is always a problem. So why not make that opportunity to seize the opportunity in first thing in the morning and have a massive glass of water. Then eat a little bit. So always try and get into a room. Then half an hour after that, then you can start to answer some emails and text messages. So always hydrate and refuel first in the morning. Okay, so what about a lie-in? Well, that's fine. You can still have a lie-in if you're getting up at the same time of day. So what I would do is set your alarm wake you up at whenever you need to get your sleep cycles in, and to as your consistent wake up time. And wake up and then go back to bed. Wake up, maybe hydrate, refuel, go straight back to bed and have a lie. That's absolutely fine. But making sure your body is used to getting up at the exact same time every day is going to be really beneficial. So you can have a lie and just still get up, wake up, have something to drink, maybe a bite to eat, then go back to bed and have your lie. So part of the plan is about CRPs. You'll see on the battle plan, the abbreviation CRP, recovery period, controlled recovery periods. Now, these are really, really useful tools. If you know you've got a couple of nights where you're not going to get the amount of sleep that you need, and your energy levels are low, or you've got a really late night coming up, and you know you need to be on full. Say you've got a Christmas party coming up, or something that's going to, or business that's going to push you well into the early hours of the morning. A controlled recovery period is an excellent tool to use. Now, especially we kind of, and this is true, we're kind of especially tired. We have lulls in the day around the 1 to 3 p.m. and the 5 to 7 p.m. So ideally, if you can get a little recovery period. Now, what I mean by controlled recovery period is a nap. Quite simply, a nap. 30 minutes is more than enough time. Myself, I spend about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Sets me up, keeps me going for the day. And I would do that. All you need to do is just find a space, probably not going to happen right at your desk at work, but find a space where you can switch off in a car, on the train, where you can switch off, where you can close your eyes and you can have a nap and time it. So it's a really useful tool. Don't think you're being lazy, because you're not. You're being smart. You're being really smart about it, because you're giving yourself much more energy for the rest of the day and for the rest of the week. You're not going to go burn out. You're not going to be completely exhausted. These controlled recovery periods will definitely help with that. So think about planning in your CRPs during the week is also a good thing to do. So think about, right, well, I've got a late night, for instance, then on your plan. Therefore, that afternoon, or on the train way back home, or before I go drive back from work, I'm going to sit in the car. I'm going to close my eyes for 20 minutes and have a rest. Little tip of the day is have a coffee immediately before the rest. It's quite often wake up groggy. Have the coffee immediately before the controlled recovery period. It'll give enough time for the caffeine to enter the system, and you'll wake up and you'll actually be feeling alert. It's not going to stop you going to sleep, because caffeine takes a while to be processed through the liver and for the effects to kick in. So have a coffee just before the controlled recovery period.